Welcome to Discover Daily by Perplexity, an AI-generated show on tech, science, and culture. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sienna. Today we're exploring how our bodies might be smarter than we think, with fascinating new research showing that memories aren't just stored in our brains. But first, let's look at some major developments in tech and music.
In semiconductor news, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, or TSMC, has tightened controls on shipping advanced AI chips to Chinese companies following U.S. Commerce Department restrictions. While this primarily affects advanced AI processors, there's an interesting development. China's own chipmaker SMIC has reportedly managed to produce 7-nanometer chips, though mass production capabilities remain uncertain. The impact? While TSMC's AI chip revenue specifically may see some adjustment, Chinese tech companies are facing real challenges in accessing cutting-edge AI chips. China's semiconductor industry has shown remarkable growth, with their device sales nearly tripling from $13 billion in 2015 to $39.8 billion in 2020.
That's quite a shift in the semiconductor landscape. How are Chinese companies responding?
They're aggressively pursuing domestic chip development, though with mixed results. Current projections suggest China might achieve less than 20% semiconductor self-sufficiency by 2025, falling far short of their original 70% target. While the technology gap between China and global leaders is now estimated at about 5 years, not 10 as previously thought, they still face significant challenges. They're investing hundreds of billions of dollars, but remain particularly behind in semiconductor manufacturing equipment and other key areas. It's worth noting that while they've made progress in chip design and legacy chips, achieving complete self-sufficiency remains a distant goal. Speaking of AI, the Beatles have made an unexpected return to the Grammy spotlight. Their song, Now and Then, which uses advanced audio separation technology to isolate John Lennon's vocals from a late 1970s demo, has earned nominations for Record of the Year and Best Rock Performance. They're competing against current artists like Taylor Swift and Beyoncé. The technology behind this was custom developed by Peter Jackson's team. Using stem separation technology, it cleaned up and isolated Lennon's voice from a low-quality tape recording, allowing Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr to add new instrumental layers. The song also features guitar parts recorded by George Harrison in the 1990s. The track hit #1 in the UK, their first top spot in 54 years, and their 18th UK #1 single overall, making it the fastest-selling vinyl single of the century.
Now, for our deep dive, new research challenges how we think about memory and the body's response to experience. Scientists at New York University have discovered that cells throughout our body, not just in our brain, can detect and remember patterns of stimulation. The research team, led by Dr. Nikolay Kukushkin, engineered special cell lines to study how non-neural cells respond to repeated signals. They found these cells demonstrate what's called the spacing effect, responding more strongly to properly spaced stimulation than continuous exposure. What's fascinating is that these cells use the same molecular mechanisms as neurons, specifically activating genes that are crucial for memory formation. The researchers found that 4 spaced pulses produce stronger and more sustained responses than single or massed pulses. This research provides an intriguing cellular perspective on Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's observations about how the body processes experience, detailed in the book, The Body Keeps the Score. While van der Kolk argues that trauma reshapes both body and brain, this study reveals a potential cellular mechanism for how non-neural tissue can actually remember patterns of stimulation. The team's methodology was particularly innovative. They used 2 different cell lines from human neuroblastoma and kidney tissue and engineered them with a special short-lived luciferase reporter that could track cellular responses in real time. Using specific compounds that activate protein kinases, they measured how cells remembered different stimulation patterns. The discovery that non-neural cells can detect and respond to patterns reveals a sophisticated interplay between cellular memory throughout the body and our biological response to experience. While conscious experience and memory processing remain primarily brain-centered functions, this research illuminates how cells throughout the body process and store information, suggesting that healing and adaptation occur at multiple levels, from individual cells to the whole organism. This perspective bridges cellular biology and lived experience, expanding our understanding of memory and adaptation to encompass both brain and body, though direct applications to areas like trauma treatment require further research.
That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. For more info on anything we covered today, check out the links in our episode description. And don't forget, you can now access Perplexity's AI-powered knowledge base on the go with the mobile app, available for both Android and iOS. We also just released the Perplexity desktop app for Mac OS. In other Perplexity news, the company recently introduced internal knowledge search and spaces. With Perplexity Pro and Enterprise Pro, users can now search across both public web content and their own internal knowledge bases, seamlessly accessing and synthesizing the best information from all sources to get answers faster. Perplexity Spaces, on the other hand, are AI-powered collaboration hubs that can be deeply customized to specific use cases. Whether you're part of a project team conducting research, a sales team creating customer proposals, or a student team working on study guides, Perplexity Spaces gives you a place to work together to get things done. These new features are part of Perplexity's commitment to enabling more holistic, accurate, and fast research, making it the comprehensive knowledge hub for any organization. We'll be back with more stories that matter. Until then, stay curious.